Good evening, Team All In. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight at our team training. I've decided that I'm going to share what I shared on the Wisdom Builder call on Friday evening, or sorry, Friday afternoon. Alan asked me to share something, and everyone really enjoyed it. I got some really good feedback, and I feel it'll be a great tool for many of you because many of us have a lot of negative things that are thrown at us in our lifetime, in our journey, whether it be your personal life, whether it be your business life. And there's different tips and tricks and things that people do to kind of, to keep that negative energy at bay and at a distance and to be able to function and grow and become successful in your Neo Life business. So I'm looking forward to having a discussion after you hearing what I shared with the team. So thank you so much for joining us today.
No, one place you can find it. Right? Okay. Now, Nada St. Germain has agreed to share this morning on, I'll probably butcher your topic so you can clarify, but on the importance of staying positive, how to stay positive, I don't know, all the above. But I asked Nada, who has an incredible story, and I won't even say it because I'm going to let you say it, Nada, to start off by sharing your story of what you experienced in the early days of building your Neo Life business as a police officer in Toronto. And for those that don't know, because she may not tell you this part, her team is on the cusp of going into like president team status size business. So she's got an incredible business, multi-million-dollar business annually, and just doing amazing things in Canada. So Nada, without further ado, I want to turn it over to you. Thank you so much for being willing to share.
Thank you. And before I get into my story, I just want to start with the way I start my morning. And I think that's really a really important part of you getting the idea and the picture of what I do. Thank you, God, for this day. Something good is going to happen to me today. Something good is going to happen through me today. More and more people are looking at our incredible business. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm on the president's team. My team is growing stronger. I have 6 solid directors every single month. God, give me the wisdom and guidance. I cannot do this without you. There's peace and harmony in my life. I get closer to God every day. He guides me every step of the way. Nothing will disturb my peace of mind. God, I want to know you and love you even more. God, put someone in front of me that I can help. Use me to make somebody's life better. Favor is on my family. Favor is on my health. Favor is on my finances. Favor is in my business. Thank you for love, peace, kindness, prosperity, grace, mercy, understanding, parents, and humility. I don't aspire to make a living. I aspire to make a difference. I promise myself to make all my friends feel that there is something worthwhile in them. I promise myself to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. I promise myself to forget my mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. I promise myself to wear a cheerful expression at all times and give a smile to every living creature I meet. I promise myself to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. I promise myself to live in the faith that the whole world is on my side, so long as I am true to the best that is in me. I'm grateful for my boys. They are always there for me. Health and financial freedom is what I share. Thank you, God, for this day. So setting the stage for your morning is so important. You know, when I looked at Neo Life over 33 years ago, some of you know my story. I was working as a police officer in Toronto, as Alan was saying, and I was very naive. I was in my 20s. I really thought that was going to be my police career. But as the journey began, I realized my heart and soul wasn't really in the job. I knew I needed more. I wanted more. I was struggling. Not really struggling with my job, but just struggling with knowing that that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And and got married very young, talking about starting a family. And that's when I was introduced to Neo Life. I was in my early 20s, and I was so excited about the products, not looking at the business opportunity. But as I started, well, as you all know, when Neo Life products get into you, you just share, and you can't help but share. And I started to share, and I became a director very quickly in my second month, and the journey began. And as I started to build my little team I realized that it was the community, the positive environment, the people that were involved in the business that kept me in the business. It was that positive environment, especially working in that negative environment and having that kind of negative feel around me. I never let that pull me. And I really believe because of the Neo Life community, it really helped me stay more positive at my job, at what I was doing. And anyway, so that's how my journey began. And as the years went on, my upline, Alan and Elise, I remember they were very involved in the teachings of The Secret, Bob Proctor, and he was always reading different quotes. After every meeting, he would close with an inspirational quote from Bob Proctor. So I kind of learned that early in my career, that being positive and having these affirmations and that was a really important part of my journey as I was growing my business. Is it noisy in my background, Alan? Are you guys okay? Okay, awesome. Thank you. And it really stems back to many years ago. And some of you don't really know what's going on in my life, but sometimes when you look at people and you look at their lives, you think, oh, they have it easy. Always coming naturally to nada. I remember people used to say to me, oh, she's tall and blonde. Oh, that's why she's so successful. And it used to really bother me. And I remember Patricia Watkins, who was running our Neo Life office one time, she would get angry at people when they go, are you kidding me? She'd go, Nada worked 10-hour days. Sometimes she wouldn't even go home on her night shift. She'd come right to the Neo Life office. She'd sleep on the floor and do her meetings and do her one-on-ones. And it didn't come easily for Nada. She worked hard, and it was kind of neat to hear other people and the way they perceived and how they thought I was successful and why they thought I was successful. I worked hard, and staying positive, I worked hard to stay positive and stay in that positive mindset. Even during the journey of my husband becoming an alcoholic. I mean, some of you don't know the whole story, but that whole journey of alcoholism and dealing with that environment, how do you stay positive when you're being, when you're being pulled? And I made a decision. I made a decision to take a new path in my life. And what kept me sane and positive is my Neo Life family. I never missed a meeting. I mean, I remember even when I was on the police force and they had these meetings and events and trainings, and sometimes I would ask my supervisor, I'd say, listen, if I give you 100 tickets, can I go home? Don't tell anybody that. And so he would let me go home, and so I can attend my Neo Life family, my Neo Life meeting. And being around that community, that like-minded community, was so important. So you need to stay plugged in. You need to stay connected. That is what's going to keep you in that positive mindset. So after I read my 25 cards that I read to you this morning, I also am part of a rosary group, which is a prayer group through my Catholic friends. And they started that prayer group 3 years ago when my son Jack had his brain injury. And some of you know my story. A month into COVID, he fell backwards down a flight of stairs and they airlifted him to a brain injury clinic. How do you stay positive in that environment? Man, they wouldn't let me in the hospital. I was a walking basket case. But without my prayer and my Neo Life family started this prayer group. And do you know that it's still going on? It's been 3 years, and we meet every single morning at 7:30 a.m., Monday to Friday, and 8:30 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, every single morning. We even have a friend that's on a hike, on a walk in France right now, and she even joined in because she was on holiday and she joined in our prayer group. And even when I'm traveling, if I can, we join in, and it's literally for about 45 minutes every single morning. And that start to my day is just an amazing energy that brings you, because whatever's going to be thrown at you in the day, you can survive, right? You need that foundation. You need that spiritual strength. And you know, it really is beautiful. And you know, when Josh and Chelsea came to our home for the 365-day tour, that was another perfect example of community and positivity and being around beautiful, positive, like-minded people. I have to say that my boys were quite young when Josh and Chelsea were there, and I remember that was the stage where you know, there was a lot of negativity around the alcoholism. And I remember, you know, when Josh and Chelsea left, my boys said to me, "Mom, I didn't think that people could be that good." And this is what the Neo-Life family does. It gives you that amazing, positive, good feeling. And that is what people are going to get attracted to. If you are putting out that positive energy, it was interesting. I'm listening to this audio right now, and that is another tip. In my car, news does not come on, radio doesn't come on. I was using an audiobook that's recommended either by Alan or some people in the network marketing field. Right now, How to Get Somebody to Like You in 90 Seconds or Less. I've listened to that audiobook in the last probably 8 times in the last 2 weeks. It comes on automatically. And since I've been doing that, people are coming out of nowhere, like at yoga, at my fitness club. It's incredible. I've probably 7 people coming to our Success Academy tomorrow that don't even know what Neo-Life is about. They just want to know what I'm doing. What is this amazing community? So you need to have that positive energy, positive vibration that always happening around you. You need to have things that are keeping you away from the negative thoughts, the negative words, and those feelings. And another thing that's really important is exercise. I cannot stress. That is my complete release when it comes to stress. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of others? And your diet, your food. You know, I say no to sugar 90% of the time. And I found that, you know, yes, it's important to treat yourself and have a special treat. And I'm always creating recipes that taste like they're bad for you, but they're good for you. And it's important to do that because you need to enjoy treats and things like that. But what you put into your body and what you put into your mind is what are the kind of people that you're going to attract as well. So that's really important. And discipline, I mean, that comes with discipline, exercise, eating healthy. So make it a goal and set that goal, and journaling. Some of you know my dear friend Laura May created the Joy Journal, and she's done trainings for a team around that, where you're writing things down at night before you go to bed, first thing in the morning. Write things down, write things you're grateful for. Focus on the good things that are happening in your life. And it's amazing how the things that are negative that are going on around you, you can just set them aside and deal with them in a better, positive mindset. Life is too short to be pulled in that negative direction. And, you know, gathering with your team, so important. If you have a local team, do it. If you can get together on Zooms regularly, do it. And some people say, oh, you know, well, I don't have a guest. I'm not going to come on Zoom tonight. Do you know when Al had his meetings at our home office, I would drive an hour Tuesdays and Thursdays, even if I didn't have a guest. So having a guest or no guest, you still need to get plugged in because you need to be an example, and eventually people will come on. So you have to get into that mindset that, no, I'm going to be joining these Zooms and I will bring a guest, and eventually guests will come. So that's really, really important as well. You know, I have a lot of people in my life that are going through huge challenges, huge. One of my dearest friends, she is a devout Catholic, and her family, her sisters, have basically almost disowned her and uninvited her to things. She had done a beautiful post on a story about a saint, and how it was a special day for this saint. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but there's some challenges within their children and family, and they don't agree with her choice of choosing God, and that made her very sad. And she pulled away from the Neo-Life business. She didn't come to Summit. She even stayed away from me, who we were very close and very dear friends. And it really, it scared me to see her getting into this dark place. But I would still send her messages every day. letting her know that we're praying for her, that we're always there for her. And when she didn't come to Summit, when she was at home, she messaged me and said the biggest mistake she ever made was not coming to that event. And she said she will never do that again. And it was my birthday on Wednesday. And anyways, long story short, she's back in that positive mindset. She appreciates and realizes that maybe her family's not there for her, but there's other family. There's her friends. There's her Neo-Life family that will put her in that positive mindset to keep plugged in. And she gave me this pillow, and I'll read it to you. You probably see it backwards. And I sit beside it when I'm doing my prayers. And it says, girlfriends are the sisters we choose for ourselves. So I think, guys, if you guys have friends, it kind of stands for yourself too. So if you don't have a lot of family support, if you don't have a lot of people in your life that are, running alongside you, your friends will, your true friends will. And that's where I find my strength, is through my friends, through my sisters, through my family, through my Neo-Life family and the community. So it's so important that you get into these good habits, good thoughts, kind words, and people will just come to you. And it's been an amazing journey, like I said, over the last 33 years. And I'm on a new path, but it's a beautiful path. And I couldn't do it without my faith, without my Neo-Life family, without journaling, without prayers, without audiobooks. But you have to make it every single day. It just can't be once in a while you pick up a book, or once in a while you decide to listen. It's got to be something that's constantly going through your heart, through your brain. That energy needs to be around you constantly, so that you grow into that spiritual foundation. So those are the tips from me. I'm so grateful to even be a part of the Wisdom Builder team. I mean, another example is going to the retreat. People say, "Oh, you're going to the Wisdom Builder retreat again?" It's like, again, my goodness. Like, again, that is one thing that, you get plugged in, and it's that energy when you come back, and that's being around those good people, like my kid said, right? Yeah, people are good. There are good people out there, but you need to surround yourself around those good people so you can start attracting, more goodness and positive people into your life. So that's what I have for you today. Any questions about any of that, please reach out. I was worried that I was talking too fast, but I wanted to make sure that I got everything in that I wanted to share with you this afternoon. So I'm so grateful for Alan and Nicole and all your tools, and having access to what you offer to help us grow here in Canada as well. Our Success Academy is tomorrow. We have over 60 people registered, so wow. I'm thrilled. Yeah, really excited about that.
Congratulations, Nada. Thank you so much for taking time to share what you shared. That was so encouraging for me, and I would guess for everybody else on this call. It's so easy. I just wrote a couple notes, and then we've got a couple minutes to open it up for any comments or questions you all may have for Nada. But it's so easy, and you nailed this, to think why somebody else has it easier than us. Like you said, in the early days, or even maybe now, I don't know. I was joking saying happy 40th in the comments, but I know you're significantly older than 40, even though you don't look it. But anyway, all that to say is, oh, she's tall, she's blonde. Like, there's no end to excuses any of us could make of why other people can have more success than us. The power of our mind, both for good and for incredible damage to ourselves, is a real thing. And anyone that hasn't learned that yet, obviously, the sooner the better we learn that, the more success we can have in our relationships and in our finances and every other way, in our health. So I just love that reminder. And I love also you talking about, you've come to retreat over and over, and Impact Summit over and over, and you're still coming back, and we'll see you there again this November. Why? And I did like a little 3-minute video in Facebook on Wisdom Builders and in the Telegram chat yesterday, I think it was, just talking about the point that if we will change our perspective and stop going into events like, what can I get out of it only? I mean, we want to take good notes and get all we can out of it, but what's my preference? What can I get out of it? Seeing it through my eyes and my lens. Okay, you only get so much value that way. But if you can bring one or more other people with you and you can see it through their lens as a first time attendee, it will change the game for you when you show up on that Zoom that you keep coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays and driving an hour, or that health talk that you're talking about back in the day, right? Or if you're coming to Impact Summit for the 19th time, or you're coming back to retreat for the 5th time, like that is a game changer. And so I just want to just really kind of drill into that for just a second and say that is such a great point that, yeah, we keep coming back and bring somebody new. You want it to be new, fresh, and exciting. Yeah, we're doing different things this retreat for sure. Different breakout sessions, different things that we've never done before. But you want it new, fresh, and exciting, bring someone new with you. And you see it through their eyes, and it will be a game changer for you, I promise. But we got to go first. You got to lead where we want others to go. The last thing I want to say is I had a great talk with somebody in our team earlier this week, and I realized, well, I haven't mentioned this, but you talked about the importance of filling our head with a good podcast or good books and whatever, and it just reminded me, Nada, that when I shared this with someone who's on this call actually earlier this week, when we started our business, the first 2 years or so, I watched and listened to over 300 episodes, and each episode's about 45 minutes long. 300 episodes of MLM Nation. And it just, I mean, every day I'd run, I'd listen to it. I'd drive, I'd listen to it. And that, I thought back, and I haven't talked about this for a long time with anyone on our team, but I shared this with this person. I'm like, go back and try listening to an episode every day, or as much of an episode as you can, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever, for the next 30 days. And see what happens for you. And within, I think by the second day, he texted me, he's like, I'm already through the 3rd episode, and then by day 3 or 4, it was like, hey, I've got a breakthrough. I realize what I can do differently. It's something I really need to do that's going to change the game for me. And I go, what is that? And he shared it with me, and I'm like, yep, that will change the game for you. So just like, it's so weird because simple things may seem like, how is that going to change anything for me? We don't know what we don't know until we know it. And so I just love that you really, shared that as well. But I'll stop talking and open it up for anyone else comments or questions in the last 3 minutes.
And we're there to support everybody, Alan. Like, I'm finding that there's a lot of people that are broken, and there are, whether it be marriage breakups, whether it be financial struggles, how are they going to overcome that? And I really feel that the Neolife family and the community are an incredible solution for strength and for growth. And it really is a solution for many. And I'm so grateful that, we have this opportunity for people that are wanting to better their life, because what else are they going to do? What other opportunities are there? This is the best opportunity out there.
I agree. Well, thank you. If there's no comments or questions for Nada, we'll shut it down. But man, this has been amazing. I could hear this over and over again. Just want to say thank you again, Nada, so much. Congratulations on 60 people registered for the Success Academy tomorrow. That corporate is doing there. Where is that at? It's Toronto, right?
It's in Toronto. Yeah. It's actually kind of cool because usually we get a lot of people out to product trainings and product events and, health talks, but to have people registering for a bit, and it's all business, and we're telling them it's all business, right? Yeah. That and it's how we're inviting them. And, we have this amazing opportunity. You got to come check it out. Right. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
That is incredible. And the need for the big income opportunity has never been greater. I've seen it in the last 9 years. I've never seen it like this. People more open than I would have never guessed would be open. So that's awesome. We'll have an
awesome. There we go. That was the session on Friday. And anyways, I thought I'd share that and have this as a recording for our team to share for those of you that weren't able to come on live on Friday, and you can share it with others down the road. So how are you guys feeling about any feedback or any input or anything, maybe other ideas that you guys are doing to stay in that positive mindset? You can unmute yourselves now. I had to unmute all you guys.
I think you really knocked it out of the park, Nada. I'm really, really proud of you. I think you did an awesome job with everything you do. I did watch it. When did I watch it? Sunday, I think, when I didn't want to clean the house anymore. I'm like, I'm going to sit and watch Wisdom Builders. So it was amazing. And I think, every day I try to remind myself, because I also have some negativity in my life. And I'm a really, really person. And I had to remind myself recently because I couldn't stand being with myself because I was letting it get to me. And I woke up one morning a couple weeks ago and I just said in my head everything I was grateful for. I don't do the gratitude every morning, but I do throughout the day. And I think about what I'm grateful for, especially if I get to that point where I'm like, I can't stand myself. So I woke up one morning, I just made a choice. And I know that's easier said than done because it was over probably a few weeks where I was like, ugh. And I kind of stopped really actively connecting with people and that kind of thing. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm it's not worth it. I'm just going to change my attitude. And so back in the momentum now and just listening to your message really just reinforced, you only have control of yourself and you start your day with good positive affirmations and gratitude and all that. And you can excel no matter what you're going to do. Regardless of what you're going to do in the day, if you're just going to vacuum, you're going to do a great job at it.
Thanks, Shawnee. Uh, anybody else?
I think that was great, Nada, too. It's very encouraging and inspiring as well because we all have our ups and downs that we go through in life. And I faced a lot of challenges in my past too, and have been in a toxic environment for a very long time. So getting out of that negativity zone, like Sean was saying, it's so good to reinforce that within all of us because we have so much going on, right? And when you get up in the day, like I start to write down things too on a daily basis, like all the positive things that I like to do, and also make a change as well. Be open-minded to to different things as well so that you can make that change for the better, right? So I just loved listening to your video. That was very good. It was very helpful, and it helps me too. So, and I love coming on to listen. I don't want to miss a day. I don't want to miss any of these sessions. And I notice, like, if I start to feel like I'm going off the bandwagon, like, oh my God, somebody calls and say, hi, yes, I'm interested in your products or whatever they wanted to say, a little comment, and I get back all excited again. So it's like it's drawing me back to just remind myself, to keep active and just keep doing those things because people will come. Just keep positive thinking. And it's not always easy though. You have your things going on, but I think once you sort of like I'm making affirmations for myself to say each day I'm going to do this, and it just comes, and I'm feeling happier about that, since I've joined your life as well. And you guys are a great team group as well. So yeah.
Well, thanks for the text. I didn't realize I forgot to do the hyperlink with the
Yeah.
link today. So if I ever do that again, if you hold it, I think if you press on it, it'll come up, or if you copy and highlight it and
Yeah.
paste it in the browser, I think it works. But yeah, I made a
Yeah,
mistake.
I did that, but it didn't work. So that's why I was like,
Oh,
okay,
I'm glad.
maybe.
No, I'm glad you reached out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to remember to do a better job because I usually do it where I do a hyperlink and I forgot this time. So thank you for reminding me. No
Yeah.
worries. All right. Anybody else? Yes, Heather.
Yeah. What I I'm very conscious about what I put into my mind. So what's coming into my head, and it's simply actually even Facebook. I mean, I scroll on Facebook, but I am careful to let go of anything that becomes negative. Um, I follow people who have positive, uplifting stories and inspiration, and sometimes just funny. I'm not a naturally funny person, like Ashley can talk and we can all be laughing, but even like before I go to bed, sometimes I'll just pick a few of my favorite comedians on YouTube and I'll just listen to some funny stand-up comedy. It's just it it's kind of it's fiction or not, but it's funny. It leaves me, it's sometimes laughing loud. It's just crazy. I avoid newscasts on TV, what I call the talking heads. That's so many opinions. I try not to, I don't put my head in the sand and don't know what's going on in the world at all, but I'm careful about the movies that I watch. I don't choose movies. Like I'm actually like so turned off and completely, I hate movies that, show violence against humans,
Mhm.
um, excessive killing, crazy stuff. Like I don't need that in my head.
Mm.
So careful about what I allow into my head from media, social media, um, and anything else that I'm listening or talking to, people that I'm talking to. That surrounding yourself with positive people is so important, and having fun and laughing with friends. Really
Mhm.
good.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. Anybody else have anything to add? Yes,
Thank
Leonie.
you. Um, there's a lot of things that are going on in my life, as you know, Nada. And in just listening to what you're saying, and a lot of things is just reiterating things or just remembering things and say, okay, yeah, it's we have to be so conscious of, as you say, Heather, what we put in our heads. And I always think, no matter what, as you know, I mean, like faith is very, very important to me, and that's the one that keeps me stable. That's the one that keeps me focused. And I always think when things get really, really negative or very rough, and it has been for the last little bit, that I will say, I'll stop and I'll think, man, there's always someone worse off than I. It's always someone worse off. And as much as that to me then gives me the strength to say, okay, let's just hit it hard. Like, what can we do? You know? And it's a constant reminder. And sometimes I go into a tangent where I start to think, okay, I'm a positive person by nature, but sometimes, like all humans, we get into a downspin. But it's your sense of humor. I have to keep my sense of humor, and there are some days when there's nothing to laugh about, and I just laugh about something stupid, and then it makes me feel better. Laughter for me just makes me feel better, you know. And but most important of all, and then try to focus or refocus, and as I said, the faith is what brings me back to look and see what I have to do, because at the end of the day, it's about how strong you are in, yes, body, yes, in exercise, definitely exercise, because I got to de-stress and I exercise, right? And then body, and then mind and spirit, and that's what for me helps me get through my stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you.
And of course, I mean, all our friends and those who are really close, and that she's so close to me, and she sometimes you need to let off steam. That's another thing. You do need to let off steam, right?
Yeah.
And that's an outlet. And I think women are more prone to doing that as versus guys. It's just
Mhm.
the way it is. But yeah, so there's many, many things that we can do. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else? Yuli, do you want to unmute?
I did. So, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for your presentation. I think from the very get-go when I met you, you've always had a very positive attitude, and I can see why that has helped you. For me, I know the other day, well, not the other day, some time ago, you gave us the 25 affirmations.
Mhm.
And I decided to write those down as well, my own, but I was not consistent. But for me, in a sense, it didn't matter because having been brought up in a Christian home where we always had morning devotions, I
Mhm.
always do my morning devotions, first thing in the morning. So even without the affirmations, I still am able to start on a positive note, and my faith is strong. So even when things get topsy turvy, even when you expect people to come on to join the meetings, or they promise they're going to put through the order and so on. Initially, I used to get upset about it because I didn't really understand all the details behind the compensation plan and how it helps and so on. But I've since learned to figure it out, and how to apply it, and just accept whatever happens. Because I've always been one to feel that nothing happens by chance, and whatever happens, it happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. So even though sometimes I know some of my prospects may say, yes, they're coming on, and then they don't, I just figured, okay, if they're really interested, they will come. If they're not, too bad, next one. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying now to get back into the positive affirmations, just to do it on a daily basis, but I still haven't gotten there as yet. Some of them may come to me during the day, but I'm always usually on a positive note anyway. I'm not a hyper person, but even within my family as well, when things go wrong, I somehow find a way to, okay, take a deep breath, move on, and laugh about it or say something funny. And then with my family too, everybody's always saying something, or we have, somebody says something funny. So it's easy to get out of that. Yeah. But my goal is, because I know that New Life is my career path now, my business, I just accept it one day at a time and work towards my goal. So thanks for your positive attitude and for your encouragement and your support over the years. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Lily. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Francis, do you want to add anything before we sign off? Everybody else made a comment. I wasn't sure if you wanted to add anything. Are you trying to unmute? Maybe she can't hear. Can you hear us, Francis? Anyways, if some of you got my email in regards to getting a paragraph put together on how Saturday did impact you guys, please send that to us. And Sean's going to create a really nice document again, so we can send it to Kendra, and I'll copy Stephen and Ashley on it as well. Because I think it's important that she realizes the impact that they have when they do come here in person. I mean, it's great that we have them on Zoom, but I think coming in person, I think is really, really important for us. And if Ashley is willing to come here every other month, then that's going to be incredible, right? So we really, really want to make sure we keep the momentum going and keep the numbers going. And yeah. So anyways, I want to thank you
I've
all.
sent mine already. I sent mine this afternoon. I don't know whether you got it.
Yeah. I got 2 so far. So thank you. Yeah.
But that whole session was so powerful. It really was something that we needed, and I would like to see it more often.
But type it out for me though. I need to send it to Kendra so that she'll allow them to come more often. So I need your little blurb, because the more people speak up and share the impact that they had, then I think it's important. Because even the last letter, Kendra or Ashley and Stephen were really happy with all the little messages that were put together, that last letter that we sent the last time they were here. So it really does, because if they don't hear from us, they don't know, right?
Right.
Right. And sometimes they wait for numbers and they wait for growth. Well, we don't want that. In order for that to happen, we need them to keep coming, right? In order for that explosive growth to happen, right? So all right.
Nada,
Well,
have you advanced to president's team, or
no,
you're manifesting that? Okay.
Oh yeah. That's why I say that. That's why I say that on my card. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm on the president's team.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I wonder, did we miss something? Did we miss an announcement?
Oh no, you'd be knowing. I'm gonna get on Jerry's private jet. They promised me when I got on the president's team, he was picking me up in his private jet. So no, you'll know when that happens.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Because Laura May, when she teaches the Joy Journal, so she said, when you write things down, write things that as if they are happening or happened, what you want to happen.
Yeah.
That's the power of putting that. Yeah.
I figured that's what was happening. Want to make sure.
Yeah. So yours is going to be, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a Sapphire director. that I'm a consistent
Just
director.
bumping right to a consistent director.
Well, you're a consistent director and you developed a consistent director. You like the money. You like the money better, and Michael liked the money better.
Michael liked the money better. I'll enjoy talking to more people and helping people. Michael liked the money.
You got it. Awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much, and hopefully some of you have guests in about 15 minutes. So we'll see you over on the other side. So
I hope to.
Much.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for your help, guys, and your support.